good afternoon, everyone.
Good
Afternoon,
afternoon,
sir.
sir.
Okay, so today we will conduct the lecture in English. So today is the last course about language model. So I want to make sure that you are aware of many improvement in tools. So after this session, this is mostly practical session, yeah? So first of all, you have to be very familiar with Hugging Face, yeah, because there is so many models here. You can see language model, you can find the open LLM leaderboard, okay. So this leaderboard maintains the performance metric of many open LLM that is available in Hugging Face. So to learn Hugging Face, we already showed before with JC that we need to understand Transformer Library and take the course of NLP in Hugging Face. Why Hugging Face? Because it's becoming the de facto standard for AI engineer around the world. They're using these tools for collaborating during development, also to share the result of their models, okay? Interestingly, if you use Google Vertex provide environment for GPU, okay? So Google Vertex also support integration to Hugging Face. So any Hugging Face model you can run in Google Cloud, yeah? So I suggest that you register Google Cloud. If you take bioinformatics course before, you already have some account, some credits, yeah. If you register your email, you will get some credit like $400 US. So you can try some model in Vertex AI, okay? Because you need GPU to train. Or you can use also GPU in here in Hugging Face, okay? So Hugging Face is de facto standard. Make sure you are familiar with this, especially you are following the history of some models that you will use, okay? You can see here so many open model, okay? Commercial model like ChatGPT or Gemini or Llama is also available. So to make a model, you need a lot of money, a lot of time and resources. So focus your research not on making new model, but on performing retrieval augmented generation, okay? Before I already show you some guide here. So this guide help you to understand some term, techniques and method in retrieval, like zero-shot prompting, few-shot prompting, chain of thought, self-consistency. Of course, you don't do this using console, but you do this technique using API or using a framework like LangChain, yeah? So LangChain is a common tools that people use. JC already saw you before. So LangChain can help you to perform retrieval augmented techniques like this, yeah? So LangChain provide API to communicate and build your LLM application using language model, okay? Make sure also you're familiar with LangChain, the API. Make sure you can use ChatGPT to build your LangChain application to help you build LangChain application or Gemini, yeah? Because this library is moving very fast, updating very fast. So spend enough time here in LangChain, yeah? And learn the techniques in here, okay? It's not all technique of prompt engineering summarized in this website. There's many more techniques. You need to read papers, okay? find out what kind of other techniques. Each of these techniques have its own paper. Okay. So for example, automatic prompt engineering, you can get Zhou et al. In year 2022. Active prompting, Dio et al. Okay. But I believe this is not all. So this is your baseline. Yeah. So take this website, download the paper and read the techniques. And to implement these retrieval augmented techniques, use LangChain. Yeah. Another option is you can use Flowise. So Flowise is much more low code, drag and drop. So instead of you use Python, you can prototype your LangChain application using this one. Anything you can build in Flowise, you can build in LangChain. But Flowise help you to make a very rapid prototype, yeah, for your research to implement all of the prompt engineering techniques. Flowise is like widgets and workflow. So you can drag and drop setting parameters, test. It gives you dialog for chatbot. So you can test to send prompt to your language model. You can implement FactorDB. You can connect to language model. You can connect to PDF source, or you can connect to database. Flowise help you to do that in low code base. If you want to have a code base, then you can use LangChain later on. Okay, so Flowise is a good start. Another thing that you can use is Chainlit. So Chainlit is an application framework to make the front end of your chatbot front end. Okay, it's quite different with LangChain because LangChain focus on the retrieval augmented library to connect and communicate with language model. But Chainlit is to make front-end user interface. So you can make user interface like ChatGPT user interface using Python. Please take a look on this with JC and get familiar on Chainlit for user interface of LLM apps. Yeah. In Flowise, you can also get the chatbot interface here, but it's monolithic into the application, so you cannot take it out. But if you use Flowise only the API, you can use Chainlit to build the front end that communicate to your Flowise, okay, or your LangChain if you are using code base. Okay. Another thing that maybe you can take a look is literal, get literal. So the same team who built the Chainlit, if I'm not mistaken, yeah. So this is to evaluate, yeah, to build your LLM apps, evaluate and monitor your RAG or retrieval augmented, okay. So it can see how much time in this query, how much time in this query is like debugging tools for your LLM apps, yeah. So this is also very useful if you want to build production ready LLM application, okay. With the LLM rapid progress right now, there is very open space for innovation, especially if you take master degree. It's open space for you to do evaluation techniques, like you want to see the effectiveness of one prompting techniques, then you may need these tools to evaluate and monitor your application, get some data of running query, or how long time it takes in the embedding or in the retrieval. So you may need these tools for getting some data for your paper while you're making your research, okay? So I asked JC before to let you spend more time on Flowise, LangChain, Chainlit, yeah, Hugging Face today. I don't take more time. I just introduce. Please spend time with JC to get familiar with all of these tools. This will be your friend during your research if you are working on LLM application for your research. Okay, LLM is very high, very rapid progress. So what is summarized in this website, Prompt Engineering Guide, is not all. You need to take a look on paper in archive on specific topic that you want to learn or you want to research. Okay. Okay. Before I give to JC, any question? Hugging Face, yeah. LangChain. LangChain is a very huge library. If you don't like too many code base, you can use Flowise. If you want to make custom user interface, you can use Chainlit. If you want to debug, monitor, evaluate the performance of your retrieval to language model, you can use Literal. Okay. Hugging Face is connected to cloud platform for GPU like Vertex. You can learn how to deploy, how to use model, pick the model here, and then deploy to Vertex and train in Vertex and deploy back to Hugging Face or making your own space in here in Hugging Face for your research. Yeah. This make you visible to all people around the world if you make your space here in Hugging Face. It's free, yeah, for you to make your own space for your research here. So it's good also to create for your research a space in Hugging Face, okay? And reproduce as many as you can before you during your research in master degree. Okay. So that's it from me. Please continue, Jesse, for practical session with LangChain or Flowise or Chainlit or whatever you are ready with.
Okay, sir.
Next week, we start learn generative adversarial network, stable diffusion is back to image. Yeah. So this is the last course regarding LLM. So make sure you ask question to Jesse if you don't understand some of the practical library. Please, Jesse.
Thank you. Let me share my screen first. Second. Okay. So for this session, we'll be showing how we can use this library called Chainlit. We have already uh, learned about Flowise and LangChain last week and the week before. And today we will learn how to use Chainlit as front-end apps to our LLM apps. So the first thing, you can see the documentation on overview on docs.chainlit.io. And in here, you can see the overview of our application of this feature tools, I mean, and how to integrate it with many LLM apps. If you scroll down to installations, you can see the steps is only to do pip install Chainlit, and it should be installed on your machines immediately. And on this one, we are going to use VS Code to code our LLM apps. So if you have already opened VS Code, that's good. And the first thing you do is you can open the terminal. And if you haven't downloaded install the Chainlit, you can just copy this and paste it on the terminal. You will also learn how to integrate it with LangChain, so it can create a chain of LLMs or logics. If you haven't already, you can also do pip install LangChain. and it will install the LangChain for you. First thing first, if you have already installed the LangChain, uh, you can start a demo application with, if you run this Chainlit hello on the terminal, and it will open a tab on your Chrome. And this is the example front end of from Chainlit. As you can see, it is asking what is your name and set GC, and it gives out your name and shows that it is working. So this is the simplest app for Chainlit. And let me, I will show you how you can make it on yourself. First thing first is you have to import the Chainlit library, import Chainlit SCL, and from here we can create a new decorator called cl.onMessage and create the function for it. It will be asynchronous, async def, and the name of function will be just onMessage. And the parameters, it will accept a message with the type of cl.message. And if we want to return the message that the user giving, you can just type in await child message, and the content will be message.content, and we will send it to the chat. This is the simplest chatbot. It will just send out the message that the user is giving. To run it, you can type in Chainlit, run. The file name, which is for this one, is main.py, and strip w if you want to reload it on changes. See, this is the chatbot they made for us. And let's see if we can chat it with hello world. As you can see, it just gives you the same message as we do. I too. So basically what it does is this function is called every time a message is sent out from the user to the front end. So, and it returns the send out the message exactly what it is. If you want to edit it like this, let's see. Your message was refresh it. Hello world. Okay. This is the result. But this is the simplest example. What if we want to integrate it with OpenAI? And basically, it answers where it can answers our question by querying the OpenAI models, LLMs. The first thing is you want to import the prompt templates like we used to learn on LangChain. Is we want to have the chat prompt template and the chat OpenAI. To do so, we can import the libraries like from LangChain underscore OpenAI, import chat OpenAI, and from LangChain prompts, sorry, import chat prompt template. After that, other than on message, we can also specify when uh, the chatbot starts. You can do so by typing cl dot on chat start and create the function for that. Async def, same. Start, we will call the function start, and this function will start on when this chatbot is starting, and while on message we will run on every message we send. On the starting, we will declare our model that we are going to use, which is, let's see, LLM, chat OpenAI, and it requires our OpenAI API key. So let me see. We will load I have my API keys on the constants file here, and I will just import it from constants, import all, and OpenAI API key equals OpenAI API key I have stated on constants. If we have declared our LLM, we can start creating the prompt template. You can just type in prompt equals chat prompt template. And for we want to make it from messages. From messages, and like before, it has from system, the system message, I mean, system, and also the human. Okay, so for the system prompt, we will give the model that you are a helpful assistant, and answer answer humans questions truly. What let's see, this answer the human questions, and the human, you can say I'm a human, please, you don't, please, and answer this question. And you can type it, you don't need to do F string here, and you type in the question. It will be the variables. After we create the prompt, you can start creating the chain like before, which chain equals the prompt and the pipe symbol, prompt, and our LLMs. To use this chain on our message, you have to set it on the user session so it can be used on message. To do so, you can do cl dot user session dot set. For the key we'll set it to chain, and the value will be chain. So in here, I will comment first. In here, I can get the chain from the user session by using chain equals cl equals user session dot get, and the key will be this one, chain. It will get the chain from the user session, which is saved on here. And if we have already got our chain, we can invoke the LLM and prompts, which is our chain, on message. In here, how to invoke it? We can create the REST equals chain or LLM chain. I mean, dot invoke like before, and we provide this. We provide the variables, which is question uh, inside the curly brackets will be questions equals the message that user gave and get the content of that. After that, we can send out the result of the answer. The answer is, and get the response from the chain info. I see. For this one, if it's going to work, you just have to reload the page and type in what color is the sky? ASCII. Oh, it gives us the response, but also the metadata like token usage from tokens and the tokens. Uh, you can get the content by specifying. Uh, just get the wait. You can get the content just by doing that content. And let's see if we get just the content. What color is the sky? As you can see, it answers our questions rightly, which is the response from the our chain with this prompt and using the OpenAI chat LLMs. And this is the result, which this with a nicer front end, I mean, we and good UI. This is you can create your very own chatbots with good front end with this. You can also change the markdown of this Chainlit MD. You just have to edit the Chainlit MD file of the project on this one if you want to change it and make it your own. And other than that, let me see. What if uh, we want to create querying the database with our chat on Chainlit? How we can do that? Let's see if uh, let's see if we have this. Let me copy this first. Let's see if we have the CSV file like this, gender, depth. This is the user's credits, what you call it, credit card scores, which is includes the ethnicity, per default employed or not, the gender and age, and etc. Uh, what we want is chat with our human text to get specific data from this CSV. This is our database, I mean, and do an SQL query with this database. Let's create a new file called query.py. And for this one, we want to also import the same thing from here. We'll create Chainlit, chat OpenAI, and chat prompt template. And for this one, we are creating the file with pandas. You can use so with import pandas SPD. If you haven't already installed the pandas, you can just do pip install pandas on the terminal. And to help us querying the pandas table, you can Also, we will use what's called duckdb. Sorry, duckdb. Also, you can install it with pip install duckdb. And for this one, uh, we will create also CL on chat start. But on this one, forgot the at symbol, async def start. For this one, we want to load our CSV to pandas data frame. To do so, we can create the f equals pd.read CSV and specify the path, which is credit card.csv. After that, we can save our df, so it can be used on the message later on the user session like before. We can do so by cl.user session.set and set the df equals df. This will be run on the start of our chatbot. After that, we'll do on message, cl on message, and write the function for that. On message, it will requires one parameters, which is message, the type of cl.message. And for this one, we'll create initiate our model, which is again chat OpenAI with the OpenAI API key, the same, equals OpenAI. You can get the OpenAI API key from before on platforms. Let me see, platform.openai, like before. Let's see. If you have initiate the model, we will also create the prompt for this, and the prompt will be prompt equals chat from template from messages. And for this one, we will specify the system prompt to UR task to convert user text to SQL from table called this one. The table will be called df. And we'll give the prompt some context, the model some context. With this info, will be an patient DB info, and these are the first 5 rows, and give it rows. Let's ask him to also just respond with SQL query. Query with no other text. Sorry, no other text. Let's remove the f string, and let's see. Let me make it down here and here. Okay, this is our system prompt, and we will create the human ones. Human for the human query. We'll be just giving them the text equals text without the string. Okay, we already made our prompt template. To get the data frame, you can specify the f equals cl.user session dot get for this one, and the key is called TF. And for this one, we will specify our chain in here on our message. Uh, it doesn't matter actually, but for this one, we are going to declare it in here. Our chain equals prompt model and our model. So this is our chain with this prompt and this model. Let me see. Oh, I was this shouldn't be on message. This will be run on different uh, what you call different functions. And for this one, I will just call it text to SQL, and it will receive text as an input type of string, and we will call the text to SQL later. So, what is the result of this text to SQL function? Is the SQL, the SQL that ChatGPT generated for us to get the SQL. It will return the chain.invoke, and will provide the variables it needs. For this one is db.info. db.info will be the f.info. This is basically just the data frames informations. You can try to print out this the f.info so we can see later, and also the rows. For this one will be the f.height and the 5 first row, and the last one, which is the user text. Text will be from the text in here, and we will try to let's see if we can print out the first 5 rows too on our TF. On our message, we can just return the, let's see. Oh, we can get the SQL first. To do so, we can get the query equals, because this is an asynchronous function with this async word, you have to give it a weight and the name, text to SQL, and it needs a text parameter from the user, which will be message.content the user gave. And let's see if we can respond the SQL with a weight cl.message content equals our query, generated query, and dot send. Okay, this should be done. Let's see if we can get the table from here. Let's see if we can do, let's see, get all the gender and age. Get all rows from gender and age column. Oh, let's specify the table that you're working with. Let me see. This is the info. This is our team. Do some debugging. For this one, text to SQL, content. Maybe something wrong with for messages. Our system. Let's see if we can make it just one line. It's going to make any difference. Let's see. It's called PF, but it'll just say PF. And let's try to print it on start the DF. See, we have refreshed. Oh, I forgot to run it on the query PI, the PY, not the main PY. Let's see, query the PY. Let's run it. It's running. And let's try that. This is the tables that printed from here. Let's just remove that for now. And let's see. What's called before? Get all rows from what's called gender and each column. As you can see, it generated the prompt, but forgot to get just the content. Let me specify, get the content, not with that, it's just content like this. That content. So this one is the print from dev.info. This is the information. So we give the some context like this, and we can now just remove it. Let's see if we can do the same. Get all rows from age and gender columns. Okay, it gives us our query, but we want to this actually execute to our data frame. So it gives us our result of this query. To make so, there's this feature from on Chainlit. If you call step, for this step is like a simple chain of thought. What basically does is it gives function more clarity to the user, which step that it is using. So for this one, we can make the text to SQL to a step. So before it query the data frame, it will do the text to SQL step first, and then it will do the next step, which is querying the data frame. To do so, you just have to add this decorator called cl.step, and on here you can specify the name. For this one, I will just type in text to SQL, and you can also specify the type. This is not mandatory, but it's useful if you want to debug it. And this is, I will set literal true, and the result language will be SQL. You can find the documentation of all of this on API reference on documentation Chainlit. And as you can see, if you are using step decorator, this is the parameters and what it does. Basically on every functions and classes and many more. After that, we want to create another step to actually query the data frame with our generated XCL. Just to do so, we will create another step. For this one, we will name it DB query. Type is query and root also true. We will not specify any language for this one, and create the functions, which is query DB, and we will accept input of the query, the SQL query. I mean str. On this one, we will also need to get the data frame from the user sessions like this. So we just copy it, and we will return the query with duckdb. It will query the pandas data frame. You can just duckdb query with the query that the input query, and also return it to the F2 data frame, to pandas data frame. So to call this function, you need to call it on message. You can do so by doing this. The result equals, let's see, await the name of function, which is query_db, and pass it on the query as parameters. After that, let's comment this part of the code first, and let's see if it's working. Again, get what's called make it the first, get the first 5 rows from all columns except, let's see, except the Marriott column. Okay, reference column indication level is not found from clause connect bindings. I think there's something wrong with when it is selecting the columns. Let's make it from just the age and gender columns again. As you can see, for this one, it is running the text to SQL step, and it doesn't run the query_db. Let's see. Also, you can see the return will be formatted in SQL format because we specify the language on this tab. And let me see if you can import it, the query db1. The content of result. Let's see. Also, in here, you can also upload attached files if your applications requires files, or also get the history. You'll use the history from here. Okay. As you can see, it returns the tables for us with age, gender, already listed. But this is kind of ugly. What you can do is you can actually create a markdown format for this to make it prettier. To do so, you can just type in from the data frame. Let's see, to and call the two markdown methods. If you have already do so, let me refresh the server. And oh, it's wrong. Let's see. And let's try the prompt again. Okay, this is the result, but it's also giving the query from here. So because this info on this, on each step, it will actually show the what's it called, the return value from each step. Like this one, it returns the SQL and it shows the SQL from here. And also on this step, on the BigQuery step, it returns the result markdown or tables. And we also send it on the on message. So just comment out the one on message and it should be working just like before. Like so. So the first step is converting the text to SQL and also querying the DB. Let's try some more query, like let's get the let's see, gender column and make it either male or female. Let's see. And oh, it's just getting the gender. What if we want to count how many female and male users on the column? We can just type in count how many male rows and female rows. As you can see, for this one is male, so be there is 20, 100 and 210, I mean, rows, while the female one is 480. We can also try it accumulate the amount of, let's see, income of each ethnicity. Let's see, ethnicity. As you can see, it will generate the query, the SQL first, and later it will query the database which we have. Next one, for Asian, the total income is this, and white, black, Latina, and others, like that. Actually, in the Chainlit documentations, there are many examples other than the ones I have shown you. Like on the documentation, you can see the life cycle from the chat start, on message, on stop, on chat and on resume, uh, and the message object, the step, the step, the step class. It also show you the elements if you want to interact with documents like PDF, or there are many elements. If you check the API reference like image, file, PDF, audio, video, or you want to chat like before, like we tried with Flowise, you can do so in on Chainlit. On Chainlit, they are also giving out the examples of you can how use these apps on their GitHub. There are many examples, as you can see here, with using custom front end, doing BigQuery on Google Cloud Service, or using your own local LLM, or just PDF Q&A. This is they have many examples, and they also have some features like authentication. If your what's called your chatbot want to be uh, passworded, or you need password to enter, you can just type in this part of the code, and it will make it requires password. Let's see, like this. It will ask for password. It will just admin. But for this one, you need to do some else, like setting the what's called this client secret. It will be Chainlit create secret, and it will create the secret for us. It's also provide some like what's it called, ask user to upload your files, chat profiles, and many more. Let me see. I think I have something like this one. Input widgets. So basically on this one, you can create inputs from the user and acts like buttons and etc., where you can customize your application freely. That's basically it for Chainlit. You can also integrate it with the literal AI for loggings and etc. It can be found on data persistence overview, and this is the tutorial. It will requires the literal AI API key. I'll show you. Let me see first this AI. It will looks like this if you're already connected to the dashboard. So it will just record the token usage and etc. And the query that you use, this one, and the prompt and etc. So that's all for today. Thank you all for listening, joining our meet today. Everyone can live. Thank you, everyone.